I'm going to be resetting the NHL entirely back to its roots, back to the original 6 hockey teams. As everybody knows, is Boston, Chicago, Detroit, Montreal, New York, and the biggest frauds of them all, the Toronto Maple Leafs. And we are going to be finding out in the year 2025 what is the best original 6 team currently in the league. Also, if you guys enjoy videos like this, hit that like button or I will find you. And hopefully we can all agree that we do not want to see the Toronto Maple Leafs go all the way. Obviously, there is only going to be 6 teams in the league, 4 of which making the playoffs are Toronto, New York, Detroit, and Boston. I guess Montreal and Chicago, they just don't have what it takes. I mean, Montreal honestly should have made it over the Boston Bruins, considering the fact they literally traded their captain midseason. For the Maple Leafs, I mean, Matthews did his thing, 65 goals, 126 points. Mitch Marner had over 118, so definitely a career high for both of them. John Tavares at age 34, 30 goals, 93 points, not too shabby. Nylander had a 41 goal season. Morgan Riley's back to being a top 5 defenseman. Scott Laughton was even decent. Matt Nyes honestly kind of underperformed. And for Anthony Stolarz, my man, a 926, 7 shutouts on the season and 36 wins. Just go ahead and hand this man the Vezina already. We know the Bruins don't have a lot of elite talent on their roster still. 72 goals for Pasta is absolutely absurd. 118 or 17 points. We know the Bruins don't have a lot of elite talent still left on their roster. Doesn't matter for Pasternak. 72 goals, 117 points. He made Casey Middlestat a 95-point player. Elias Lindholm had 68. Pavel Zacha was decent. And for Swayman in his big new contract, he wasn't the greatest. Nobody is shocked to see that the Chicago Blackhawks were struggling, even with 6 teams in the league. Bedard, though, only a -12. Not too shabby at all. 44 goals, 77 points. Bertuzzi had 71. Teuvo Teravainen. Yeah, there's really not a lot of talent on this roster, so I'm not shocked. The Dead Wings are back. At least they're making the playoffs in a 6-team league. Dylan Larkin, their captain, leading the way with 89 points. Lucas Raymond had 82. DeBrincat 79. Patty Kane, not really the greatest season, buddy. Only 24 goals, 67 points in a full 82-game season alongside a -10 rating. And then Cam Talbot was decent. I mean, 5 shutouts and a 907 is not bad. Montreal did not take that next step in this simulation, despite the fact that Nick Suzuki had 84 points, I believe the most in like 20 years with the Canadiens. Caulfield had 40 and 40. Slavkovsky even produced. I mean, everybody on the team were minuses. Patty Laine, buddy. Holy hell. A -26? Are you kidding me? Those are some absolutely absurd numbers. We got Gallagher, who was a 0 somehow. Kirby Dack -18. Lane Hudson a -27, and Samuel Montembeault maybe next year, buddy. And finally, the New York Rangers, they picked up JT Miller and they got themselves a 100-point player, 39 goals, 100 points. Breadman had 99, Zibanejad with 82. Adam Fox was decent with 11 goals, 66 points. Vinny Trocheck kind of did his job. And for goalies, they have the best in the world, and he played like straight ass. Austin Matthews will go ahead, lead the league in scoring with 126 goals. Pasternak would lead in goals with 72. If we take a look at the goaltenders, we got Anthony Stolarz with the most wins at 36 and also the most shutouts at 7. Only 4 teams make the postseason, so this definitely favors Toronto, considering the last time there were 6 teams in the league, they won the Stanley Cup, 1967. We got Toronto versus Boston, another classic, and then Detroit versus the Rangers. The Leafs and the Bruins right now are all knotted up at 1 apiece, and right away, David Pasternak in game number 3 is going to score. First period, we tie the game up. Why am I saying we? Mitch Marner will tie the game up. Entering the third, the Leafs hold on to a 1-goal advantage. John Tavares and then Pontus freaking Holmberg. Jeremy Swayman, can you stop a goddamn beach ball, buddy? A power play for both teams. Nobody scores on it, though. It is a 3-1 lead still halfway through the third period of game 3. As the Toronto Maple Leafs look to go up 2-1 in the series, but Adam Peake says, hold my beer, buddy. 2 minutes to go. Can Anthony Stolarz shut the door? Yes, he will. The Rangers trying to take a stranglehold on their series. They're already up 2-0. They protected home ice heading to Detroit for game 3. Oh my, 4 in the first period. Raymond, Sider, Larkin, and Casper. Second period, it is a beatdown here in Detroit. The Rangers are not getting out alive, laddie. I mean, this game is pretty much wraps at this point. 32 shots of 22, a 5-1 stomping by the Detroit Red Wings, who are not dead. They are fully alive. Does that say a Tyler Mott playoff goal in 2025? Boston entering the third period of game 4 has a 2-1 lead. Obviously, they do not want to go down 3-1 in the series. That would be absolutely horrific. We got Middlestat and Zadorov scoring for the Bruins, and then Nick Robertson for the Toronto Maple Leafs, as they are only down by 1. And this is as close to a must-win. I mean, it is a must-win. Boston can't go down 3-1 and expect to somehow claw their way back into the series. 1:09 left to go in the third period. The Leafs, I mean, they mustered up 45 shots on Swayman and have only been able to beat him white. Here we are, less than a minute remaining in the third period of Game 4. The Boston Bruins holding on to a 2-1 lead, despite the fact that Toronto mustered up 46 shots on Swayman, although they could only get one goal out of it. We got 40 seconds remaining. Here comes John Tavares. A 2-on-1 forming. Zadorov is back. Tavares shot. Swayman save. And he is going to cover that puck up. The Boston Bruins trying to keep their season alive, although not technically being eliminated, but you can't go down 3-1 in the series and expect to win it. Witherspoon. Did he get you with a spoon or an Flatty? Oh my, Mitch Marner and somebody tag team that guy. Ekman Larson. When is Toronto going to pull their goalie? Larson shot. Nice save by Swayman. Full pressure. Oh no. McMahon in the middle. Another great save by Swayman. Max Domi out in front. Jeremy Swayman is putting on a legacy-defining moment right now, although it is only the first round. It's only a 4-4 play. What happened there? Witherspoon took a penalty, and the Leafs with 12 seconds to go are going to head to the power play. 12 seconds to go. This could be it. Jeremy Swayman has been amazing so far. Boston wins that draw. They needed it. Matt Nye's bodying people in the corner, though. 5 seconds to go. Peak, you got to get it out. Over to Zadorov. 4 seconds, and there we go. The Boston Bruins have tied up this series at 2 apiece with the Toronto Maple Leafs. They still cannot beat the Demons. We're going to see if the Red Wings can do the exact same thing, tie up their series with the Rangers. They dominate in Game 2. We're going to see if the Red Wings can do the same exact thing as the Boston Bruins just did. And I mean, a 4-1 lead entering the third period is not too shabby. They dominated Game number 3. They're dominating Game number 4. And the Rangers on the road right now look like Connor Hellebuck, as they are going to lose 6-1 back-to-back beatdowns by Detroit. Just for a little clarification, what I meant by them looking like Connor Hellebuck on the road, it means they look like straight ass. Every single time these two teams play, man, we got ourselves a series. 1-0 lead for Boston. David Pastrnak absolutely carrying the Bruins right now, and they're holding on to a 2-1 lead entering the third. Who scored for Toronto? It was none other than David Camp. Where is the $13-14 million player in Austin, Tommy Egg Matthews? It's playoff time, so he just has to go ghost. Elias Lindholm gives the Bruins an insurance marker. This would, I believe, be their third victory in a row if they can hold on. 3 minutes to go, and the Boston Bruins are putting the Maple Leafs on the brink of elimination after winning 4-1. A 2-2 series tie between the Red Wings and the Rangers as well. First period, 2-0 lead for New York. Breadman and Parasainen. Second period, they are shutting out Detroit right now. As we are in the third period, DJ Zibanejad got on the board on Cam Talbot. The Red Wings, I mean, they look like a totally different team on the road compared to home right now, and they're on the road against the Rangers, getting shut out 3-0. As New York will go up 3-2 in their first round matchup. The Maple Leaf season is on the line. Their backs are against the wall, and entering the third, they got a 1-goal lead thanks to William Nylander, by far their best player come playoff time. Toronto is going to respond, though. Matthews and Brendan Carlo make it a 4-1 game. Hold up a minute. It's only 2 goals now. The Boston Bruins are not going away without a fight. Toronto on the power play, late stages of the third. Here we go. Can the Bruins claw their way back, or is Toronto going to force a Game 7 on home ice for what is certain to be a disappointment? No, I mean, when's the last time they won a Game 7 in their entirety of their franchise? 54 seconds to go. Nylander into the zone. Nylander trying to get a shot on net, but he can't do it. They're rolling out Tavares, McMahon, and Nylander right now. Very interesting choice. Here we go, Boston. Let's go full forecheck, full attack. I might have to pull the goalie pretty shortly here, considering they are down by 2. Ekman Larson the other way for Toronto. Into the zone. Nylander gets it poked off his stick. He reclaims it. Nice save by Swayman. Up to Lindholm. Here we go. We're going for broke, Boston. Come on. Elias Lindholm to Kempe. Doesn't get it there. Is it Kopi or Kempe? I don't even know. Lindholm. Over to Kopi. Back to Lettieri. Lettieri at the point. Losing it. Zadorov. Over to Kopi. Lettieri. What the hell is going on, Boston? You have an empty net. You got to shoot it. Tavares is going to miss the wide open net. There's like 10 seconds to go. Nylander out in front, and John Tavares will send this series to 7. The Rangers trying to get rid of Detroit here in Game 6, but it's in Detroit, so it is going to be a tough time. 2-0 lead after 1. Second period. Okay, the Rangers respond. 3 in a row. Zach Jones Lafreniere, and Artemi Panarin. Can somebody let me know in the comments, is Laffy actually dating Sabrina Carpenter, or was that fake? I saw a story. I don't know if I want to believe it or not. Third period time. Here we go. The Rangers holding on to a 1-goal lead. They're getting outshot yet again, but they're not getting blown out. And there it is. Zibanejad will extend the lead to 2. They desperately needed that. And Vladimir Tarasenko answers right away. 9 minutes to go in the third period. Can the Detroit Red Wings claw their way back into this hockey game? Here we go. The Detroit season on the line with 2:21 left to go in the third. They have 42 shots on net already, but only 3 goals to show for it. Jeff Petrie into the zone. He turns that puck over. Brodzinski over to Carrick. Sam Carrick getting bodied by Lucas Raymond. Uh-oh. Here comes Chris Kreider. One-on-one. He's not going to tip this puck in. Jeff Petrie losing it. He regains it, though, even though the Rangers have full pressure. I got to go full attack here. The Red Wings season is on the line. Rasmussen into the zone, hammering one on Shesterkin, and he's going to make the nice save as it rims around the wall. 40 seconds to go. A 1-goal game. Rasmussen out in front. Petrie, slider, shot. Nice save, Igor. Borgen the other way. The fourth liners are out there for the Rangers at the end of the hockey game. I probably should have ended up pulling Cam Talbot. Come on, Petrie. We got to go with second line, I guess. Patty King. Here we go. Empty net. We're going for broke. DeBrincat launching one. Nice save by Shesty. Where is the forecheck by Detroit? We got 19 seconds to go. Breadman up to Adam Fox. Somebody got to pressure. Mo Sider, what are you doing? Why are you backing off, dude? There we go. Patty Kane gets a turnover. Over to Mo Sizzy. Mo Sizzy into the zone. He turns it over. Kane finding Kasper. No, DeBrincat gets denied by Shesterkin. Elias Lindholm has the most points in the playoffs right now. What world are we living in? Okay, 5.9. Lock in here, Detroit. You got to win that draw. They lose it. No, and that's pretty much going to do it. The New York Rangers have advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals, but not without an Artemi Panarin empty netter. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's going to be pretty hard to beat this New York Rangers squad. We either got Boston or Toronto coming out of the other conference. I mean, pretty much they're all Eastern Conference teams, but you know what I mean. Despite getting blown out in games 3 and 4 on the road, they come into game number 6, get the job done, a gutsy-ass victory, and they are now going to play for Lord Stanley. Game 7, round number 1, Boston and Toronto yet again. First period, no score. Second period, a 2-1 lead for the Maple Leafs. Nylander and Robertson get on the board. I've yet to see an Austin Matthews goal, so I'm going to be waiting a while, I figure, but I mean, come on, man. They pay you to score goals. There it is, Mitch Marner, and then Tommy Ake Matthews comes alive. A 4-1 lead, 5-1 lead now for the Toronto Maple Leafs. As I got to be honest, this series is over. They showed up in a game 7. They slayed their demons, and they dominated the Boston Bruins 6-1. The hockey gods have the funniest opportunity possible to them as we got Maple Leafs versus Rangers in the Stanley Cup Finals. Give me a game 7. Here we go. Game 1 in New York. They're going to have home ice advantage. First period, no score. Second period, a 1-0 lead for the Leafs, and they're going to skate out of there somehow with a shutout victory. Morgan Riley chips in, and they take game number 1, 2-0. We now move on to game number 2, still in New York, obviously. Entering the third period, it is a 2-1 hockey game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, as Nicholas Robertson has been very good in this playoff so far, and William Nylander, Max Domi's going to get one on the power play, extend that lead to 2. I mean, top to bottom, and low-key kind of looks like Toronto is just the better team right now, although the Rangers, they had some tough moments against Detroit in the first round, especially on the road. They're at home now, and they just lost the first 2 and will go down 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals. I would be losing my mind if my team was down 2-0 in the Cup Finals. Actually, I can't even say that. We were down 3-0 last year, and I was in absolute shambles. Entering the third period, we got a tie game. All knotted up at 2. Unfortunately, the series is not, and there we go. Parasainen will score on Anthony Stolarz, makes it a 1-goal lead for New York, and then Brodzinski will respond. Connor Soucy is going to get in on the action. Artemi Panarin, they are lighting up Stolarz, and now Joseph, the Swiss cheese wall, as in game number 3, the Rangers will respond. 7-3 victory. Game 4 in Scotiabank Center. First period, a 1-0 lead for the Rangers. Chris Kreider gets them on the board. The Toronto Maple Leafs are going to tie it up, though. John Tavares, the former captain, and then Bobby McMahon will answer the bell on Igor Shesterkin. The Leafs holding on to a 1-goal lead here in the third. A 2-goal lead now. Mitch Marner chips in. Nitrocheck, though, he makes it a 1-goal game. They are not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. 5 minutes to go. Hold a minute. We got a tie game here in the third period. Never mind. Brendan Othman with 2 minutes to spare in the third. Give the New York Rangers the lead. How? How do the Toronto Maple Leafs collapse like this? Camp, nice shot. Nice save by Shesty. They have full pressure at the point. They lose it, though. What was that back pass? We got to get the first line out here, too. What are we doing here, Toronto? McCabe was getting bodied in the corner by Matt Rempe. In the goddamn Stanley Cup Finals, the Rangers are playing Matt Rempe. Like, are we serious right now? Matt Nye's the other way. Over to Mitch Murney. Into the zone. Murney. Shot. Shesterkin save. 35 seconds to go. Tommy Matthews trying to center that puck. Marner back to the point. To the blue line. Over Morgan Riley. 153 miles per hour on the one-timer. I mean, Matthews getting bitched right now, low-key. Marner, lose it. Matthews! Oh, my God. How does the man not score? He scored 65 in the regular season. He can't get it done in the playoffs, though. Matt Rempe is still out there on the ice. He's a bag of milk. He cannot move his feet. The New York Rangers are dead tired. Not only are they going to get out of the zone, they're going to waste time, and they get a shot on net on Stolarz and an offensive zone draw. Artemi Panarin, 13 points in the postseason. William Nylander second, but I mean, the Leafs, I think they blew this one, man. They had 43 shots on goal. They had a 2-goal advantage. And unfortunately, we're headed back to New York, all knotted up at 2 apiece, baby. We got ourselves a series heading into a very pivotal game number 5, third period. It's all knotted up at 1 apiece. I mean, a tie game has been the story of this series. Matthews and Chris Kreider both get 1, and then Matthews, his second of the night. Halfway through this third period, 9 minutes to go. The Toronto Maple Leafs holding on to a 1-goal lead, trying to go up 3-2 in the series. And a potential Stanley Cup in the building back in Toronto for game number 6. This is it, the do-or-die moment for Toronto. First period, no score. The cup is in the building. They're on home ice, and they got a 3-0 lead in the third. Matt Nyes, William Nylander, and Pontus Holmberg. Do they have what it takes to defend off this lead, win the Stanley Cup, slay all of their demons? And I mean, it's only fitting that in a 6-team hockey league, they will go on and win the Stanley Cup, because the last time it was that, they did do just that. 4-0 lead in the third period. William Nylander essentially putting this game out of reach. The Toronto Maple Leafs are gonna get the job done and win the Stanley Cup. Their first since 1967. Conveniently enough, comes together as a 6-team hockey league. I guess all you gotta do is remove all the other remaining teams from the league, reset it back to the original 6, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are a dynasty yet again on the backs of Stolarz. William Nylander was great, and he's gonna win that Conn Smythe Trophy for the playoff run. 8 goals, 14 points with 6 hits. The man was on a mission, and the man is their best playoff performer on that team, so I'm not really that surprised. Most surprising part was probably the fact that in a Game 6 at home with the cup in the building, they did not falter and have to go to a Game 7. The fans of Toronto are going to be able to see the Stanley Cup being raised for their hometown team, as Tommy Matthews, the playoff ghost, is now a playoff champion, as the Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup in an original 6-team league. Despite the Rangers losing, Artemi Panarin's going to lead the postseason in scoring with 14 points in 12 games, 8 of them being goals, so he was very dominant. William Nylander had basically the same exact stat line, although one more game played. Austin Matthews had 12 points, so he did produce. Mitch Marner was great, although he's a -2. David Pastrnak did his job. Elias Lindholm was decent. Fox, Raymond, Lucas Raymond straight up carrying the Detroit Red Wings. And for the goaltenders, Stolarz had a .923. Hard to beat that when it was the highest in the entire postseason. Shesty was good, but the Rangers were not good enough to dethrone the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup Finals. Austin Matthews will win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. David Pastrnak will take home the Maurice Richard. Morgan Riley is actually going to be the Norris Trophy winner. The Calder will go to Marco Kasper, the Vezina to my man Anthony Stolarz, and the Selke will end up being none other than JT Miller. Well, that is going to do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I would like to say thank you all for watching. And until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.